panic bar cover. There's 4 number 2 screws. 1, 2. On the other side here, there's 2 more. 3. 4. Okay. So I'm going to remove the cover now. Okay. Set that aside. So now I'm going to remove the in cover plate off the panic device. 2 more number 2 screws. Okay. I'm going to remove the cover plate off the panic bar. Side. Grab 5/16 hex head bit. I'm just going to slightly loosen the nuts to give the panic bar some play. So I'm going to loosen the cylinder retaining screw, which will allow me to take the cylinder out. As soon as I loosened it up. Okay. So I'm going to loosen the 3 screws that hold the panic bar and the knob into the mortise body. Okay, I'm going to remove the screws all the way. Okay. 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 This plate, put it in my pocket. Okay. I'll remove the panic bar to the side and remove the latch set out as well too. Okay, which will leave us the the mortise. Okay.
Well, there's several things that sort of have me.
I'm retightening down the cylinder lock screw. Okay. Put the mortise plate back on. Okay. You want to make sure that this is flush here. If it's not, you take a flat screwdriver, take it. You want to make sure that it's flush with the door frame so it doesn't rub the strike and it cause the door not to shut and lock properly. So, and that's perfect. So I'm tightening down the lock set screws again. Okay, going to the bottom. Okay, sorry, like that. Okay. Oops. Okay. I'll put the protective cover back on. One, two, three, four. Okay, and the outside protective plate is on. And then we'll move to the back of the door and set the back panic bar cover. So I'm going to go back to the hex head screws, tighten those down to the lock in the panic bar. Okay. Slide the cover plate, the outer cover plate on.
Yeah,
back on.
but we know what to do.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The cover plate here back on.
And the other guy.
HVAC, he's waiting on us.
Okay.
Everybody's waiting on you guys.
Now, who was this guy over here?
Oh, former.
Oh, okay.
Number two.
So how are you guys gonna
I guess I'll sit down
and look at it? Okay.
And that's the installation complete.
This clip? No, it's just a standard. It's a standard safety latch. Yeah, no, when you put stuff on here, it keeps it on. OSHA requires it to be on there because your sling or your chain can jump off at any time. No, actually, I've seen things just where people just hurry up, hook it, and not hook it all the way, and the safety latch not be catched. Boom, just fall right off. That's a transformer. That's always hot. Okay. My name's John Smith. I'm from Freeland Hoist. We're going to show you how to operate this Harrington hoist today. It's only a half ton. Half ton is 1,000 pounds. You don't pick people up with this thing. All you do is pick up materials. It's a material handling device. No Peter Pan. Can't fly around, man. It's a basic, simple operation. Here's your pendant station. It has 2 arrows on it. The arrow pointing up lets it go up. When you get to the full height, there's a lever mechanism up there. It's a safety device which will shut the hoist off. When you come down with the arrow down button, it has another safety device which shuts it off.
As low as it goes?
Yep.
Well, how something weigh 500 pounds is sitting down here?
You slings. That's how they do it. This is a manual trolley. It's like a chain fall. Just pull it. To go in either direction. We're just going to run through this manual a little bit here. When you're operating this, if there's something that you got to pull this thing to get it over here to set down, don't do that. That's side pulling. It's not good. Don't pull over to the side over here to set it down. Always have a dolly. Set it on the dolly, and then you can move it anywhere you need to move it. It's not for picking up people. You can really get hurt if you start picking people up and moving them with this hoist. So do not pick up people. Don't lift your load over top of people. Do not leave a load. If you're in here, and say it's 2 minutes before your break, leave it set on the floor. Do not raise the load and walk out. Never leave it suspended. If you have somebody in here welding for you and they're hooked to this hook, and whatever they're welding to is hooked to this hook, please ask them to disconnect the hook. Because what happens if they use it for a ground, it could compromise the hook or the chain. Or it could blow the fuses out of the unit, burn the motor up. It could do a whole lot of damage. Do not remove any warnings. This isn't a warning. The black tag is a warning, telling you do's and don'ts. Don't take it off. You're just making it rough for everybody else. This is a big don't. Do not take this hook off and try to put another piece of chain in here to make it longer. This is one continuous piece of chain. If this chain needs to be longer, you can call somebody and let them bring chain out and put longer chain in it for you. Yeah. I just want to show you some lifting devices. In these pages, you have chain lifting devices and stuff like that, cable lifting devices. Anytime you have a cable sling, if there's any broken strands in that cable sling, please don't use it. It's not worth your life. Same thing goes with chains. These chains, like I said, inside here when you're using lifting chains, you want to make sure that these are good, that your hooks are good shape and everything like that. It's not worth your life. If they're damaged, replace them. Trust me, they're pretty cheap. Inside this pamphlet that you have, there's positive load control, how to rig things, big and small, the way they should be, balancing the load, and so on and so forth. Please take the time to read that. It'll come in handy. Also, slinging degree of angles. There's certain degree of angles that certain slings and things shouldn't go beyond. They're not rated to do it. So it's something, just a helpful thing to let you guys know. Every piece of lifting apparatus on it has different ways of rigging it, and every way you have to rig it, it gives you the weight limitations. Like if you choke it, you sling it, you basket it, whichever way you do it, it will tell you exactly what your load rating is. If you look at the little tag on the side of it, it has a tag. Everything has a tag giving you its weight limitations and what kind of configuration. Now I got one more thing. And as you're going through it, you want to make sure that it's always up to date with your OSHA inspections. On there's going to be a tag. This one doesn't have it because it's a brand new unit. When it does get inspected for its first time, it'll get one of these tags. It tells you the make, model, when it was inspected, and if it passed. So all you have to do is look at that real quick and know that it passed, run it through your operational, making sure that it operates okay, everything works and operates okay, and then you're good to go.
Who does that inspection?
We do. We do, or another crane company, whichever way you want to go. Any questions? Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. You have a good day.
Today we will be talking about the mechanical equipment that we have here in the storage room, and I will be explaining each equipment one by one of what Hughes Corporation has installed. For starters, inside of the storage room, we have a exhaust fan, which is right here, the EFY2. This exhaust fan here is set to 90 degrees, and whenever the ambient air temperature inside this room reaches 90 degrees or above, the exhaust fan will have a close contact to come on, and it will exhaust air out into the atmosphere. And it's a pretty simple operation, and that's how this works. Second we have here is EFY1, which is the bathroom exhaust fan. And this works in conjunction with the air handler unit that controls the heat for the bathroom. And also this runs only when the fan runs for the bathroom or there's a call for heat. And this is the equipment here. And the thermostat, if you can see back in that corner there, that's the thermostat that controls the EFY2 for the storage area. And if you follow me here, we're next going to go to the air handler unit. The duct underneath this duct here. The labeling for this air handler unit is FCUY, which is a fan coil unit. This fan coil unit has fresh air that's pulled in from the outside, and it's controlled by this damper. When there's a call for heat, this damper will open up according to the engineer specs. And when the engineer, when the fan actually comes on, it will open up and will mix air with the return air, which will turns into heat that is supplied throughout this ductwork that's here. There is a 5 kW heater inside of this ductwork, and that will be the reasoning for the heating for this system. Here you have a return grill, and this is actually pulling in the air. So you have mixed air from the outside air and the return air. And it mixes inside this duct, goes through the system. There's a heater in here, and it's supplied throughout the duct, which is feeding into the bathrooms. There is a filter in this location right here, and you'll see that these two handles right here, you would just simply squeeze these in and pull the door off. And that's just how simple it is to change the filter. Just remove the door, pull the filter out, put the new filter in. Okay, over here, over there is your thermostat. And pretty much a thermostat runs by your temperature setting. Right now it's in the fan on mode, and pretty much it's the fan will run continuously. There's an automatic setting if you want to change it to automatic, that whenever there's a signal or call for heat, then the fan will come on in conjunction with the heat. Otherwise, the fan will run continuously, nonstop.
Again, my name is Cecil Berkeley. I represent Door Systems. Door Systems put this roll-up door in here. This roll-up door is manufactured by Cookson Door Company. It's a company out of Arizona. There's a tag on the outside there. The reason I'm saying that is these slats and all that kind of stuff that you would buy would have to be one of their products. And this is a simple operation. It's obviously you would take the chain loose, and it has if you're familiar with a window shade, how a window shade goes up and down, and a window shade has a little spring in the barrel there. Well, this is like a huge window shade, and there's a barrel up here, a steel barrel. I imagine it's about 6 to 8 inches in diameter, and inside of that barrel is a spring, and that's what balances this door. This door is actually about 1,000 pounds in weight. And by having that spring on it, it counterbalances it and allows it to go up and down pretty easy with the crank here. Also, to add to that, to help it go up and down, you have some gears on the side here that help it go up and down and involved in it. If you've ever fooled with a window shade, maybe you remember people used to use a fork to wind a window, with a window shade up. You use a fork to try to add a little bit of tension to it. Well, this has a charge wheel on the end of it here. It's what winds the spring up inside of that barrel there. That's what that thing is up there. You see with the wheel, and it has a pin on the very top of it, and that has a lot of tension on it, especially when the door is closed. It's totally wound tight as it'll go when it goes all the way down. And as you can see, when I let that door go, it sort of floated up a little bit. After a period of time, it'll get so where that wears in, and it'll probably settle down a little bit. And right now we're just, again, and it also has the capability to put a motor on it. This stuff can be removed. I see there's an electrical panel right there with a lot of extra breakers. If they ever wanted to put a motor on it, it'd be pretty easy to do also. Maintenance-wise, the door has guides. These are called guides. These obviously where the door feeds down inside of, and you'll use you just use regular white lithium grease, usually in a spray. About every 3 months, you could check it out to be sure how, depending on how much you use the thing, how it goes up and down. That's about the only maintenance. The cog wheels up here have a sleeve, like a sleeve on them. You need to spray a little bit on it when you do that. But again, if you're not using it that much, if you never lubed it, would probably hold up for a long time, really. Usually these doors that are used by hand are not used, they don't go up and down as much as a regular electrically operated one. This thing consists of all these slats, it's called. Each one of these, this is a 2-inch slat, and this is an insulated door, by the way. It has insulation, so it makes it a whole lot heavier. But all these are hooked together. They're hooked together. They've got like C-shape two C-shaped pieces that where it lets it rock back and forth so it can roll up like it does. On the ends of these, on the guides, if somebody had to come out here, let's just say where it was one of these, let's say somebody hits this thing, they drive into it or back into it, this door would have to be taken up, the guides taken off, and these slats would have to be pulled out. They could be, actually the ends could be taken off and it could be slipped out and they could put new ones on there. But it's usually something that we would have to do. And our number is right here on the frame here, and I'm sure the other people will have some information on that too. The door systems will probably send you some paperwork on the other ins and outs of it. But anyway, that's about all I can tell you about it. Do you have any questions about it?
So is it still under a manufacturer warranty right now?
Yes, from what I understand, yeah.
So how long is that?
I believe it's a year.
A year. And that's what, just the physical, is that the mechanical part of it as far as the...
Yes, yeah, that's right, yeah. It's just wear and tear. Of course, if it gets hit or something, it's not, that wouldn't be warranted, but... Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
You have to roll the door all the way up, or it'll stop halfway? Like,
Let's see. Let's be sure. Yeah, you can stop it anywhere along the line. All righty. But you can see these guides here. This is what has to have the grease in them when you have to
it seems like
spray.
it's kind of tight midway up.
You know, it might just need to be lubed up a little bit. It's going to have a little bit of snug spots every now and again. Feel a little bit there too. The spring, one more thing too, the spring that's inside of that thing is a helical spring, and I'm not sure how long it would be, and this is 4 or 5 feet long probably. And sometimes right in the beginning when they're new like that, they kind of bind a little bit, the spring coils when they run together there, and that could be a little bit of what's causing a bit of hesitancy there. But I don't see it catching on anything or grabbing on anything.
Here we have a backflow preventer, which is basically to prevent the water from coming back into the system. This is a Watts. The 1315 comes with a check valve and a flapper. Now, every so often you do have to service the flapper. It will get stuck or take it out to clean it. The strainer here has to be cleaned every so often. Basically, they do need to be tested maybe once every 2 years to make sure that they're still working properly. And these are your test ports. And this is your drain, a blow down off their backflow preventer. Basically, that's it with the backflow preventer. Over here, we have a chiller for your drinking fountain outside, and basically a chiller. This is a chiller, your drinking fountain.
Oh, okay.
Basically, that's an exterior drinking fountain, which you can output the compressor. Basically, all you have here is a compressor, which cools the water, incoming water coming into the compressor, water going out. To service it, basically you have to service the compressor every so often to make sure that the freon and everything's still good in it. Other than that, that's all it is. You got the electrical, and that's it. Inside here,
So often, like quarterly?
I would say once a year. Because a drinking fountain is something that's not get used constantly. Okay, here we have the pipe chase. And in the pipe chase is all my piping for the bathrooms on both sides, the men's and women. Here we have the flush valve for your toilet. And here we have the flush valve for your toilet. And on both of these, we do have dial frame inside, which once in a while, you might need to take them out to clean them out. And this is the dial frame here. That's basically all the moving parts inside of here on both of these. Okay, here you have, yes, screw.
Right up under that cement.
It's screw right off. Yeah, well, you could disconnect it here, it comes right out.
So we gotta take the whole thing off it's not enough room to take that cap off? You gotta take the whole, Sloan off?
Here.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta take that whole slow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta take it off here and here. Got two nuts.
Well, at least you got better access than in the schools.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, here we have the mixing valve for your hot and cold water going to your sink. Double combination sink, toilet sink, stainless steel. Okay, this is your cold water going in, cold water going out. Hot water going in, hot water going out to your sink. And to adjust the flow, you have a screw here, set screw. If you want to adjust it, lower the water pressure, these are your two set screws. Same thing here, you have two set screws, hot, cold water going in, hot, cold water coming out. To adjust the set screws, you turn it to the right, to lower, you turn it to the left.
What is that clear tube for?
The clear is the air.
That's air. Okay.
That's the air.
Pressure.
That's the air pressure.
Is there a compressor in here, a pump?
No, it works off of this.
Okay. That's what we're confused about.
Yes, that's just the airline. Okay. Okay, basically here you have a electric hot water heater, and basically that's it as far as the plumbing part on. You got hot and cold water going to it. You got adapters here to break it loose.
It's only one
Yes,
for both bathrooms?
yes.
Electric hot water heater? Oh, okay. What's the box down there on the
Okay,
floor?
okay, these here are your mixing valve for your water going to your drinking fountain. You got water going into your mixing valve, and it also has a set screw inside of it, same as this one. You can adjust the water pressure up or down. Then the blue line is the water going out. The clear line is your air line again. Okay, you got one for each drinking fountain. You got a handicap and a regular drinking fountain out there. One high, one low. Any questions? Okay, what we have here is the bathroom. Flushing the toilet. Cold water. Hot water. Okay, now here's the operation of the drinking fountain. This is the handicap one. This is the regular one.
Let's say, for instance, this get clogged up.
In order to service it from the outside here, you have 8 screws, 2, 4, 6, 8. Remove those screws, the plate will drop off, this square plate will drop down, and that's the opening for you to service it.
All right, this is the main power from the main panel here coming in. I've got a breaker in between us and it. This breaker also feeds the panel next door. So if you hit that breaker, that's both of them. This right here, this will be firing the locks when they install them on the 2 gate doors outside the yard. This is also powering our controller.
Okay.
This is a controller very similar to what we have in the building that controls doors, door contacts, things of that nature. It's got all of the doors that are here. That would be the 2 Sallyport doors here, 108 and 109. The main gate to the yard, the black gate, it's door 110. And then that fence gate, that's 1G70. All 4 of those doors come back here.
Okay.
Now, these 2 doors here in the Sallyport, these are alarm-only doors. There's no card reader, nothing like that, just door contacts. Anytime those doors are opened, an alarm will be thrown inside there. Let me see here. Yeah, you got your inputs over here. This is where all the door contacts come to on this side. The locks, when they're installed, they'll be coming right to here. Really ain't too much to that panel. That's pretty much it. And just for ease of reference, I even got the breaker written on it.
Okay.
Breaker 18, it says on it.
Okay. It looked like you only got like we only got 2 door locks?
Oh, well, this right here, this is just the power for this.
Okay.
The 2 door locks we install will go here and here.
Okay.
So all of this is spare.
Oh, okay.
Like for anything added on to the future, or if you need 24 volts DC for something,
Okay, that's what that, okay, all right.
we've got plenty of inputs here, all fused inputs.
Right, all fuses, okay.
And our next panel, this panel is pretty much our interface with the rest of the building.
Okay.
We've got fiber optic cabling coming straight from the security room.
Okay.
On the other side here, these are all of our devices out in the field.
Okay.
We've got all our cameras up top here, all labeled, inside as well, well, inside and outside. Down here, we've got the intercoms. There's 6 intercoms out here on the outside and the inside of the Sally port, and the outside and the inside of each of the 2 doors over here, for a total of 6. On copper, the intercoms come back to these fiber modules. The fiber modules turn the audio into light. That light is then transmitted back into the building. Now, none of the functionality of the system changed. Nothing changed. We just added on to it. So you've got, like I said, 4 extra doors, 2 of them being alarm only, and 6 more intercoms. These intercoms are all fed off of here.
Just 120 amp breakers feeding it?
Same breaker that's feeding this. Same breaker that's feeding this. Exactly. Exactly. Our Ethernet switch, this is what's letting the controller here
Okay.
communicate with inside, turns its data into light, boom, into the control room.
Okay.
Other little odds and ends, 'cause that's pretty much everything. Quite honestly, there isn't much to it. We did not add a whole lot to the yard. It's just 4 doors, 6 intercoms, and 14 cameras.
Okay.
That's really it.
Okay.
Oh, at the base of each camera pole,
So the black box?
exactly.
Go ahead.
All those black boxes, that's where the camera guts are, essentially. All the cameras come into there as, yeah, all the cameras start at copper at the camera. At the base of the pole, they put it on fiber, and then it comes back into this room on fiber.
Fiber like lights up, or it gives a,
Yeah, you know, like in Disney World, how they have like those little like handles with the stream things, and it spins and it's light. Same exact stuff.
seriously?
Same exact stuff. It just takes light, shoots light from one end to the other, and converts that light back into data.
Oh, okay.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. It really is.
It really is.
No, and then they start shooting multiple beams of light down to one fiber. Like one beam of light will go straight through the fiber. The next beam of light will go that way, like crisscross, and then we'll have like a third beam of light go the other way. Yeah, so you can squeeze a lot of data out of that one little piece of plastic. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. Let's see
If
here.
these lights ever go up, like if, let's say the red light is indicating.
Oh, well, the red light is because there's nothing on the other end.
Okay.
Because these are going to be the gates for the 2 doors out here that they're not done with.
Right.
They need to finish putting pipe up for the door contacts, pipe up for the locks, and pipe up for the intercoms.
Right.
So when the intercoms are actually hooked up, they'll go green like these 2.
Okay.
The Sally port here, those intercoms are working.
Okay.
Those intercoms, like if you went out there right now, you'd press it and Williams would be like, what the hell do you
I
want?
got you, because I saw some of them. Okay, all right, I got you.
And that's the short and skinny of it. That's all there is to it.
All right.
It's not a whole lot, not very complex.
Right.
What's the difference between these here? You have, these boxes on the bottom have black, and the ones up top are red.
Oh, well, essentially, these cables here are the same cable. like typically like with wire, you'd have a red wire and a black wire. Same basic principle. That red and that black are a part of the same cable. We just split the cable.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the color coding as far as the fiber goes means nothing. It just means nothing.
I just noticed the colors.
I got you.
Different on those top and bottom boxes.
In phase 2 of this project, we built a fence line completely encompassing the building. An inner fence and an outer fence. The inner fence we refer to as the TWIDS, the taut wire system. The outer fence we refer to as the PIDS, it's fiber optic system. We took down part of the fence and extended another part of the fence around the John Howard yard. The PIDS, that would be the outer fence, the fiber optic fence. That does not extend all the way around the John Howard yard. At the yard, it stops. Completely encompassing the yard, however, is the TWIDS, the taut wire system. The power for this system can be found here on breaker 19. If the fence line ever has to be worked on, if power has to be turned off, this would be the place to turn off that power. That's it.
Number 2 screw. Both of these will pop right out.
Except in all those, we got springs on those.
Take your number 2 screw again. And this cover, we'll take it off. Pop that cover off. Inside this slot, there'll be a number 1 set screw for this cylinder. This is number 2. Back it out. You want to extract the key halfway so the cylinder will spin. The cylinder will spin right out of the key. The mortise body is held in by 2 number 3 screws. Just back those out. Lift it up, mortise body's out. That's the extent of taking that mortise out. Now, I need to show them putting it back in as well, or installing it. All right. So,
If something wrong on the inside, after you get it out.
this mortise body, if anything goes wrong on the inside, you replace the whole mortise body. You could take it to a door manufacturer and they can attempt to fix it. It's going to cost you more money than it is to buy this. This is $175. It's probably going to cost you $200, $300 to get it fixed. So in the long run, it's just better to replace the mortise body and have it. So. They don't go bad that often. I mean, you really have to really do some abusing to them. Okay, to make them go
Same
bad.
lock on the inside, we have constant problems out there.
Well, see, the difference between this block and what's in there, this isn't gonna be used for that frequent.
Oh, this lock.
Compared to the other one.
Oh, okay.
So.
Same lock's gonna be that inside.
And those on spring loaded.
doors